What is going on, everybody? It's Skills here, and today we're going to be talking about 20 things you need to know about Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and hopefully these tips and tricks will make you a better ghost in Ghost Recon. So let's get into it. So the first tip I'm going to give you guys is take advantage of Cloaking Spray. You get it with the Panther class. This helps you evade drones. It helps you evade the behemoth. If the behemoth tends to be guarding something that you really want, you know they usually have those military crates in the tower that the behemoth is guarding. You can spray yourself with the Cloaking Spray like you saw right here and run right by them. And if for some reason you run out of stamina like I did and he's running right next to you, he won't even see you. That's the great thing about the Cloaking Spray. Now remember, this only comes with the Panther class, so you do have to switch to the Panther class when you want to use the Cloaking Spray. Tip number 2 is if you ever get to a door that has like a little retinal scanner or a fingerprint scanner, if you carry a dead body like I'm doing right here, you go near it, it will open up. So if you ever can't get into those doors, pick up a body and walk towards it. Now if you can capture him alive, that works too, but a lot of times you just kill the enemy, pick him up, and then take him to the door, and then you can get inside and get the loot that you want. The third tip is when taking down multiple enemies, try using the sync shot. Now, the way you use the sync shot is you must aim in with your rifle, hit use on the sync shot, and then it will mark to 1. Then when you mark the second guy, do the same thing, and then once you have both guys or all 3 guys synced up, hold down the fire button, which is G on PC, and it will eliminate the target. Now remember, sync shots are consumables, so you do have to have them in your inventory to be able to use a sync shot. On PC, it's G, and on Xbox and PlayStation 4, it will be your left bumper. You can mark up to 3 enemies. Once you mark all 3 enemies, hold down the button that you use to launch the sync shot, and then once you do that, it will eliminate the targets and you can continue on. One thing to remember is you do have to unlock a sync shot in your skill tree before you guys can use this. The fourth tip is take advantage of your quick swap menu in game. So these 6 items right here, when you're playing in game, when you're not in the menu, you have access to them and you can swap through them as you wish. So when you're creating your loadouts or when you're messing with your loadouts, make sure you swap these out. Sometimes you'll use a rocket launcher, sometimes you use a grenade, sometimes you'll need the EMPs. Now, the other ones you can upgrade the syringe. There's also binoculars on here. There's a bunch of things that you want to swap out for whatever task you have ahead of you. Now, once you do select all 6 items, in game you'll hold Alt or you'll hold the right bumper to pull up this quick menu that you'll have access to select any item from here to use on the go. Tip number 5 is fast traveling to bivouacs is going to be your fastest way to get from point A to point B if the mission that you're going to is across the map. It's a lot faster than traveling via helicopter. But once you do arrive to your bivouac, remember everybody is equipped with a helicopter and you can go to your garage, select your helicopter, deploy the bivouac, and once you leave the bivouac, you will be able to have a helicopter right there and take you to the closest mission that you're trying to get to. And the more bivouacs you unlock throughout the map makes it a lot easier to get from point A to point B. That leads us right into tip number 6. As you are traveling around in your helicopter through Aurora, remember there are going to be small smoke signals. It looks like smoke signals, right, coming up from the ground, and those are bivouacs you haven't discovered. So as long as you stay low to the ground and you fly near them, it will unlock that bivouac. That is another way for you to unlock bivouacs without having to fight intel. Intel is a great way to find bivouacs, but this is another way. As you are flying your helicopter, stay low to the ground, and then you'll get a notification at the bottom of the screen that says bivouac unlocked. Tip number 7, remember you don't always have to land your helicopter. Take advantage of the parachute you have on your backpack and use that to get closer to an objective without making a lot of noise, because helicopters and vehicles make a lot of noise and parachuting in doesn't. So jumping from helicopters is great, but hey, don't forget you can also parachute from high objectives because helicopters aren't the only thing. Now remember, you do have to unlock this in the skill tree before you start using your parachute. Tip number 8, remember drones are a really effective way of farming for standard weapon parts. Yes, there are a few ways that you can get them, but as you start to level up your character, they get harder and harder. I believe that the drop rate is around 40% from these drones. So if you want to level up your Mark 1, Mark 2, and Mark 3, and they require standard weapon parts, this is going to be probably one of your most effective way at getting them, as drones aren't too hard to kill, but just sometimes they like to move around a lot, and that could be the hardest part about killing them. Now when you do finish them off, make sure to go over to where the drone drops down and collect it. And right here you saw I just got some standard weapon parts, 3 for every drone you use to kill, and remember it's around a 40% drop rate per drone. Tip number 9 is to make sure that you're leveling up your classes as you unlock them. At level 10, for each class you have, you unlock a specialty weapon. So each class, the sharpshooter, the panther, the assault, and the medic all have their own specialty weapon unlocked at level 10. Now, there are requirements for you guys to complete these at each level. So level 1, level 2, level 3 will require you to do a different task. When you do have a class selected, you can always go over that current class in your loadout and see what the next requirement is to get to the next level. Tip number 10 is when wanting to swap between the classes, you need to go into your bivouac, hit tactics, and you will have access to all 4 classes as long as you have these already unlocked in your skill tree. So you must do this in your bivouac. Tip number 11 is to remember the store refreshes every hour in Irwan or in your bivouac. So if you go to the store, the weapons and the gear items reset every hour. This is a great way for you to level up your character because sometimes the item for sale is higher than the item that you currently have equipped. Buy that item, put it on you, then you're one step closer to getting to that next level. Tip number 12 is always sell your gear items. As right now, we don't really have any use for the materials that you get when you deconstruct them. And every time you do sell them, you get more scale credits. Now, you always want to deconstruct your weapons though, because your weapons, those standard parts, those AR parts, those metal parts, you will use them to level up your Mark 1, Mark 2, and Mark 3. So dismantle weapons, sell gear. Tip 13, when it does get dark, night vision is a great way to take advantage of the enemy. Now, remember, if you want to pick up the night vision goggles I have on right here, that every time I turn on night vision, they pop down in front of me. I did put out a video on how to get all 3 night vision goggles. Now, you don't have to have the night vision goggles, those are vanity items, but you do have to unlock night vision and thermal vision in the skill tree to be able to use it. Tip 14, stealth takedowns are a great way to take out the enemy without firing a bullet and letting other enemies know that you're in the area. So using stealth takedown is a really good way, and all you have to do is use your melee button once you sneak up on an enemy. Tip number 15, if you ever come across these generators, sabotaging them will cause all enemy forces to come investigate the area. That will give you time to sneak out and go pick up those military loot boxes without anybody detecting you. And that's what I like doing. What I'll do is I'll sabotage an area, I'll take off the other way, you'll look at the minimap, you see all the enemy forces are gathering around that generator, and then I'm able just to sneak in and grab those military loot boxes without anybody really messing with me. This is a great strategy if you're trying to play this game stealth and tactical versus just run and gun. Tip number 16, 2 weapons you might want to pick up early on in the game are the M4A1 and the TAC-50. And you can pick up these blueprints and consistently craft them as you continue to level up. The TAC-50's blueprint is going to be located in Smuggler's Cove. There's going to be a port in the north portion of that area. As soon as you get close to it, you'll be able to see that there is a TAC-50 blueprint there. Mine has a check box next to it because I've already unlocked it. But this is the area you want to go if you want to pick up this TAC-50. The next area you want to go to is the channels area. And this is going to have a behemoth. The behemoth is going to be guarding this M4A1 blueprint. But it's pretty simple to get. You might not even have to fight the behemoth. You can walk right by him, pick up the blueprint, and then head on out. These 2 weapons right here are probably weapons that you'll use all the way to end game. Tip number 17. The grenade launcher and EMPs are great at taking out these baby behemoths. Sometimes these rocket launchers can even destroy them with one shot. Also, take advantage of your EMP grenades. EMP grenades are great for disrupting them and causing them to stop in place. But either way you go, it shouldn't be too hard to kill these things either route you take. I'm going to use a rocket launcher to destroy this one. Now, if that wasn't simple enough, I don't know what else to tell you. Tip number 18, as you level up, don't forget that you should always go back to the store every now and then and recraft that weapon if you enjoy it that much. I enjoy running with the 416, I enjoy running with the M4A1, I enjoy running with the TAC 50. So I'm always going back to the store to recraft these weapons. Now they do cost skill credits, but every time you craft them, you have a chance of getting a higher roll. Tip number 19, make sure to take advantage of these battle rewards. They're 100% free. All you have to do is either do faction missions or play PvP. Now, as soon as you unlock something, you go to retrieve your rewards on the right-hand side. Now, you can only get 400 battle points per day. So you max out at 400 a day. So once you get your 400 for the day, we'll go do something else. But once you unlock stuff on the right-hand side, just like I did right here, is how you redeem those rewards. And tip number 20, the final tip of the day, is looking good in Ghost Recon isn't hard at all. You just need to make sure that you head over to your appearance tab, and on your appearance tab, you'll have your gear tab, and then you'll have your accessories tab, and that's how you see that I'm able to have a ghillie top. I took off my backpack. This is how you can remove your backpack if you don't want to have a backpack with your ghillie suit. I have my mask on there. I have my headwear. I have my NVGs. I have my helmet. And then on the gear, same thing. You pick these items and then make sure at the bottom right-hand corner, you select Skin Override. And this will show you everything you have selected right here on your character versus using your items that you have on your gear tab, because right there everything always looks random because you're always trying to put the highest gear available. And that's gonna wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoy these 10 tips and tricks, 10 things I think you guys should know when playing Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Hopefully they helped you out. Hopefully at least one of these tips was something you didn't know. If you guys have any questions, use the comment section down below. Always leave a thumbs up, that helps out the videos. But until the next Ghost Recon Breakpoint video, nothing but skills is out.